Today we are starting with our second lesson, that is Advanced QBasic Programming. In this lesson we are going to learn about programming with control statement and looping statements, arrays and library functions. Before we proceed, let us learn or recap what we have learned in grade 6. We learned that QBasic is a high-level programming language, and QBasic stands for Quick Beginners All-Purpose Symbolic Instruction Code. And you know that it is developed by Professor John G. Kemeny and Thomas E. Kreutz in 1964. It was the one of the most flexible languages because we can modify the program easily. What is this modification? Suppose if I have written any program, I can edit the program depending upon the requirement. I need not to write once again. Whatever is there, in that only we can make the changes. And this QBasic program can solve mathematical as well as logical problems. All the QBasic programs are made up of series of statements and they are executed in order in which they are written. For example, like what is written in line number 1, that will be executed, and then line number 2 and then line number 3. Like that, in which order we have written the statement, in the same order they will be executed. Right? Then next is syntax errors. What are these syntax errors or syntax rules? Okay, there are some rules which we follow when we are writing a program. Those rules are called syntax rules. You can see here the command words have to be written using the standard rules which are called syntax rules. If we are not following these rules, then we will get the syntax errors. What is the syntax? Syntax is nothing but the grammar of writing the statement. Okay. Now, next is CLS command. This command is used to clear the output screen. We write this command before we start the program. The first line of the program will always be CLS, so that before we print something inside the program, the screen will be cleared. Then the variable operators are arithmetic operators, relational operators, and the logical operators. I hope till here everything is clear. Okay, next we will start with one simple program which you have already learned in grade 6. This was the program which was given as example program in grade 6 also. See, you can see in the first line, again I have written CLS, that is clear the output screen. After that, print what is your name. You can observe here what is your name is written in the double quotes. See, whatever we write in front of the print command within the double quotes, it will be printed as it is when we run the program. So when I run the program, this message will be displayed. Now, in the third line, input name dollar. Input command is used to read the value to a variable during the execution of the program. Now here what is the variable, students? Name dollar is the variable I have used. And why is the dollar symbol given? To indicate that whatever the data I am reading is a string value. Okay. So next, print in which standard are you studying? I am studying, like we want to read where the user, in which standard the user is studying. So for that again I am using input class dollar. Okay, so class dollar will save the value for this. Next statement is print what is your school name. Again, I'm using one more input, one more variable called school dollar, in which the school name will be saved. Now, after reading all the three values, I'm printing one statement like this. Hi, name dollar, where the name will be printed, is studying in class dollar, where whatever the user is giving the class will be printed standard, and he is from dash, that is school. Whatever the school name user is giving, that will be printed in that place. And last statement to end the program is end command. So this is what the program we have learned in grade 6 also, to print some information, right? Now, when we run this program, what will be the output? How the screen will be seen? Let us see that. Our output screen will be seen like this. See, to run the program, I'm going to press F5 key, function key from the keyboard. The moment I press, I can see what is your name and question mark on the screen. Here in this example, the user has given his name as Sachin. The moment the user press enter, in which standard you are studying, message will be displayed along with a question mark. The user has given 6th as the answer for that. What is your school name? The user has entered Sri Chaitanya School. So what is the output given here, children? You can see, hi, Sachin is studying in 6th standard and he is from Sri Chaitanya School. This is what the message I wanted to print, reading the details. Okay, is that clear till here, children? I hope it is clear. This program was written to read a string values during the execution of the program and print the message. I hope it is clear. Let us move forward. Control statements. What are these control statements? You know that I just now explained you that the execution of the program will be in an order in which the statements are written, right? So to control the execution, here we are using the control statements. Using the control statements, we can control the flow of a program. Okay, see, the statements that are used to control the flow of a program are known as control statements. There are various control statements in QBasic program. Example, go to, if then else, else if, etc. To check the condition and for repetitive tasks. Let us see how these control statements will work, right? If then statement. Here what will happen? See, if there will be a condition, you can see here in the syntax, if, then in between the bracket here, we are going to give the condition. If this condition is true, then set of instructions, mean some set of instructions, whichever is written, will be executed. Okay, see, if checks the required condition, it executes the set of instruction in the if blocks when the condition is true. See, you can see here, if the condition is false, then there will not be any output seen on the screen in this condition, because it will execute the set of instructions only when if block is true. Otherwise, there will not be any output in this condition, right? Okay. See here, we will see with the example. One example we are seeing here. Example, program to check the number of months in a year. You all know how many months we have in a year, right? 12 months. If the user is giving 12, then the condition will be true. If the user is not giving 12, any other number other than 12, then the condition will be false. Let us see how exactly it works. In the first line, you can see I have written CLS to clear the output screen. After that, I have written one print statement. How many months are there in a year? So when you run the program, this sentence will be displayed on your output screen. And I have taken an variable called months, and I am using an input statement to take the data. So when we run the program, whatever the number the user will enter, that will be saved in the variable called months. Now, after that, what is happening? If months is equal to 12, whatever the number which is saved in the variable months, if it is equal to 12, then print. Means then only it will print, you have entered the correct answer, well done. Suppose if the user has not entered, then there will not be any output. But we wanted one output from this program. So again, I'm using one more if statement here. See what I'm using? If months is either less than or more than 12, then you print, sorry, your answer is wrong. Please try again. And if. Why I have written end if? Here students, you all should remember, whenever we are using if statement, then all the if statements will end with and if. This is the end of if statement. After that, again I have written end command. This end command is used to end the program. Okay, so when we run this program using the F5 key, let us see what the output will be seen on the screen. See, you can see first what happened in the first example. The user has given 10. So what message is displayed? You have entered wrong information. Okay, and then again we are running the same program. So that time the user has given 12. See, now that is a correct answer, right? So you can see you have entered the correct information. The message is displayed on the screen. This is how the program is working using the if-then statement. I hope everything is clear about if-then statement. Now, what happened in the if-then? If the condition is true, then the set of statements executed. But if it is false, then there is no output. So what I did, I have used one more if then statement to check the other condition also. Instead of using two if then, we can use if then else statement. What will happen in if then else? If the condition is true, then set of statements. If it is false, that is else, then some other set of statements will be executed. I hope it is clear. I'll repeat once again. If then else statement. In this statement, what will happen? If the condition is true, then whatever you have written in if blocks, that set of statements will be executed. And if it is wrong, then whatever the statements you have written in the else box, those set of instructions will be executed. Okay, you can see the syntax on the screen. If, condition, then. If the condition is true, then statement 1 will be executed. If it is false, else. Else means if it is false, then statement 2 will be executed. Then to end the if statement, we are using the end if command here. Okay, so any doubt? Now you have understood what is the difference between if then else. Let us see one example for if then else statement also. Here you can see a program to check whether a person is eligible for vote or not. You all know, right, children? If you want to vote, how old you should be? You should be 18 or more than 18. Then only you are eligible. If you are not 18 or more than 18, then you are not eligible for voting. So using that condition, we are going to display the output here. Let us see how it works. First line CLS again to clear the screen, and then rem. This is remark. This is a non-executable statement. This is just for the user to understand what the program we have written. We use this rem. Okay. Rem, program to check eligible to vote or not. Okay. Then input, enter your age. See here what happened. I'm directly using input. I'm not using a print statement to print a message, enter your age. In the input statement only, in the double quotes, I'm writing enter your age and then semicolon and then age. Age is a variable in which whatever the user is entering the data will be saved. Now, next I'm checking using the if condition. If age is greater than or equal to 18. If age is greater than or equal to 18, then what it should do? It should print, congratulations, you are eligible for voting. Else, if the condition is false, then what it should do? Then it should print, oops, you are not eligible for voting. Okay, then end if. End if will end the if statement, then end will end the program. Let us see what will be the output. Before we see the output, let us see how exactly it works. How exactly the flow of a control works here. Okay, see, start. I'm just starting the program. Then you can see input, age. Then here, this is a condition where we are checking if age is greater than equal to 18. If it is N, is right, then it is going down. Okay, see here you can see Y means S. If it is true, then it is going down and it is printing, print you are eligible for vote. If it is false, see it is going like this and here print you are not eligible to vote. Then it will stop the program. Let us see the output. If the condition is false, here you can see the output. The user has entered the age as 15. Then what message is displayed? Oops, you're not eligible for voting, because the same print command I have written in the program. If the condition is true, then what will happen? See here in the second example, the user has written his age as 45. So what message he has got? Congratulations, you are eligible for voting. Any doubt till here, children? It is very easy. I think if you read the program only, you will come to know how exactly it is working. Okay, let us move to the next thing. If then else if statement. What is this again? If then else we learned. Again if, what is this? This is because if you want to check the more number of conditions at that time, we are going to use if then else if. Now previous program, what happened? I have just checked two conditions. What? Whether the user is greater than 18 or less than 18. But here more than two conditions if you want to check, at that time we are going to use if then else if statement. Okay, the syntax will go like this, children. If the condition, if it is true, then this set of instructions will be executed. Else again one more condition will be there here. If that condition is true, then the second set of instructions will be executed, or else the last third set of instructions will be executed, and then end if to end the if statement. I hope it is clear. If you want to check more than two conditions, at that time we are going to use if then else if statement. Let us see one example for this also. You can see program to check the greatest of a number. What will happen? Here we want to check which is the greatest of two number. You may think Ma'am, then we need only two conditions, whether which number is big, whether the first number or the second number. But I will explain you how we are using if then else if statement in this program. Let us go line by line. In the first line we have written CLS, that is clear the output screen, and then input, enter the first number. The first number is saving in num1 variable. Next line, input, enter the second number. The second number is saving here in number2 variable. Now, what is our first if statement? Let us see. If number1 is greater than number2, then if the number1 is greater than number2, then what it should do? Print number1 is greater than number2. Okay. Else, if again it is checking, if number2 is greater than number1, if number2 is greater than number1, then print number2 is greater than number1, right? Else print both the numbers are equal. Because of this we are using if then else if statement. You understood now? See, now one number may be 25, the other number may be 35. Then what will happen? 35 will be bigger. Second time I may enter number 1 is 46, number 2 is 32. Then number 1 will become. Third time I may enter 25. Then what the output the computer should give? That time the computer should give that both the numbers are equal. Because of that, to display that statement, we are using if then else if statement here in this program. Let us see when we run this program what will happen. In the example first you can see, enter first number, the user has given 50, and then in the second number the user has given 100. So here it is showing 100 is greater than 50. In the second example you can see, enter the first number, the user has given 100. Enter the second number, the user has given 200. Then it is displaying as 200 is greater than 100. Suppose if the user is giving 100 and 100, then it will display both the numbers are equal. This you can try when you are doing the practicals. Any doubt in this, children? I hope it is clear whatever I have explained you. Till here, you all have to go through in your textbook and try to understand clearly.